أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي ونسلم على رسوله الكريم أما بعد. The human being is made up of two matters. One is his outer body, and secondly, the inner soul, which is called ruh. So the combination of these two is called insan, and the needs of both are different. The body, to stay in a good condition, healthy and strong, it needs to eat the normal food what we eat. The raw rice, chapati, salan we eat, that is the food of the body, and by eating it in a normal way, the person stays healthy, he stays strong, and he can carry out his work. If he stops eating for 3-4 days, then he starts to become weak and eventually he dies. So just as the body has its demand of food and we give the body its need, we eat 3-4 times a day. In the same way, the ruh, the soul, it has its demand also. The food of the soul is the knowledge and remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. So if we give our soul its need, the knowledge and the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, it stays fresh, it stays strong, and it stays healthy. And just like the body, if we stop eating, we don't eat for 3-4 days, straight away we can see the effect on our body. In the same way, the soul, the ruh, the heart, if it is not given its nourishment, which is knowledge of Deen and the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, slowly and gradually it dies away and it loses its ability of good work and good actions. This is what Allah mentions in Quran in different words. خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ. So we are concerned about our physical state. We stay healthy, we stay in a good condition, we stay strong. But since the ruh is not seen, and the effect on the ruh is not very easily understood. So because of that, usually the need of the soul, the need of the ruh is neglected, and day by day usually person goes away from Deen and from Allah Ta'ala. And the effect of that is anxiety in the heart. Just like hunger, if person has not eaten for 2 times, he can feel the anxiety, he can feel the trouble of not eating, hunger. So we feel it straight away. If we don't eat 2-3 times, straight away we can realize and we can feel the anxiety, we can feel the trouble of not eating. In the same way, when the ruh does not acquire its nourishment in a form of knowledge of Deen and remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, it also has anxiety and it becomes uncomfortable. This is why usually we ask people, how are you? So in the beginning we say, Alhamdulillah, well and fine. But if he starts to tell his whole story, eventually he will end up saying, I don't know, but I'm very pareshan. I'm in anxiety, I'm in a depression, I'm at stress. She says, what's the reason? You don't have food to eat? He says, plenty of food to eat. You don't have clothes to wear? He says, plenty of clothes, house, everything, but I don't know. I'm not at peace. My heart is not in a state of peace. So the reason being that the ruh is not acquiring his nourishment, but he does not know. Just like a child. The child becomes hungry, he's a very small child, he will cry, but he do not know. So exactly in the same way, the anxiety is usually most people experience is because of the ruh, the outer body is achieving everything. We feed the body on time, we clothe the body on time, we go to sleep on time. So these are all the necessities and demand of the body. we fulfill them. But even then the person is not comfortable, he is not at peace, he is not in a tranquility, because the ruh is not achieving his need, and which is the knowledge of Deen and remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. And usually because of not knowing this reality and not being aware of it, people do not pay much attention towards it. They involve themselves and get more and more involved. They acquire more money, they acquire better food, better clothes, better house, better car, in a hope that this will take away the anxiety, and this will give me comfort, and this will give me peace. But after acquiring all that, his state is such as it was before. So the reason being, this is not the need of the ruh, this is not the necessity of the ruh. So no matter if somebody acquires the whole of the world, but if he does not have the knowledge, if he does not have the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, acquiring the whole world, it will not satisfy him. It will not give him peace, it will not give him tranquility. So this topic is concerning the knowledge of Deen, which usually we hear that the zikrullah is the food of the heart. It is. But to make zikr of Allah Ta'ala, one needs to know. If somebody doesn't know Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, how will he make zikr? So before making zikr, he has to acquire the knowledge of zikr, everything. So this is why the root of everything, the root of zikr is knowledge. The root of acts and action is knowledge. So usually people do not realize the value of knowledge, and they don't pay attention to us whether there's a young or an elderly person, and because of the heart not having its right knowledge and the remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, usually in a state of anxiety, and day by day it gets into more stress, more depression. It's just like a hungry person, that somebody is hungry but there is no food, nobody's giving food, he's in a jungle, there is no food available. So someone comes here, there is no water there is no food there. Somebody comes to him, whole bag of gold. So he says to this hungry person, I give this bag of gold. What will he say? Well, you keep the bag of gold, just give me 2 chapatis. Because the bag of gold will not satisfy his hunger. So on that occasion, if somebody gives him 2-3 chapatis, that will satisfy him. So exactly in the same way, if someone acquires the whole world, that is not the need of the heart, that is not the nourishment of the heart, that is not the food of the heart, it will not be for a small amount of time, he'll become happy. But as soon as that happiness goes away, that anxiety will return back, he will be in a state of anxiety, he will be in a state of stress and in pareshani. So long as the heart does not atiyala bidikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. So as long as the heart does not acquire its need, which is knowledge and remembrance of Allah Ta'ala, it will not be at peace. He will pass his whole life like that. He will toil more, he will make more effort to acquire the world in a hope that will satisfy me, that will give me sukoon. But instead, opposite will occur. More he will indulge in acquiring the world, more he drifts away from the knowledge of Deen, from remembrance of Allah Ta'ala. To that amount, his anxiety will increase, his stress and depression will increase also. So nevertheless, this is a topic concerning knowledge, which is the food of the heart. Just as the roti, salad, rice we eat is the food of the stomach and body, and we give attention towards it, and we give importance to it, it is also necessary. But even more important, the nourishment of the heart, we need. Alhamdulillah, Allah has given us a tawfiq and chance to come to madrasa to acquire knowledge of Deen in form of learning Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif and knowledge of Deen. So that is this is something when people like us, we are in a madrasa, when we are reciting Quran Sharif, we are acquiring knowledge, we forget everything. We don't have any anxiety, we don't have any stress, we completely at peace when we are engaged in acquiring knowledge. But as soon as we stop and we step outside, then the anxiety, the stress, the worries of the world, they overtake us. So this is something even people like us, we can realize and we can understand. So nevertheless, what is the value of knowledge? What is the importance of knowledge? What are the hukuk of knowledge? inshallah ta'ala, since we are starting our new year, and we are engaged in acquiring knowledge, which is the food of the heart, which is the nourishment of the heart, so that we may realize its value, we may realize its importance, and we give full effort in acquiring it, so that it becomes beneficial for us, our family, and people also. Allah Ta'ala फरमाते हैं फलौला नफर मिन कुल्ली फिरक़तिन मिनहुम ताइफ़तुन लियतफ़क़्क़हू फ़िद्दीन, कि इनमें हर फिरके में एक जमात क्यों न निकली कि दीन के मुतालिक इल्म हासिल करती और अपनी कौम को डराती, जबकि वो उनकी तरफ लौट कर आती ताकि वो डरते. So in this verse Allah Ta'ala says, when there is a need of jihad, so some people should go out in jihad and some people stay with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam Medina Sharif, so that they may acquire knowledge from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when the people have gone out in jihad they return back, they teach to them, meaning all the community, all the people should not go out in jihad leaving Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam behind alone in Medina Sharif. There should be some people with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam who acquire knowledge from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and when these people who had gone out for jihad they return, they teach them. So here again is the importance of knowledge. Hazrat Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala से मनकूल है कि जनाब रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम जब जिहाद के लिए तशरीफ़ ले जाते तो सिवाय मुनाफिक या माजूर शख्स के कोई पीछे न रहता था. Ibn Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala narrates that when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would go out in jihad, then all the Muslims would go out with him. Only a hypocrite or person who is mazur, who cannot go, only such a people stay behind, and the rest of the people, they would go out with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. बस जब ग़ज़वे तबूक के किस्से में अल्लाह ताला ने मुनाफिकों को साफ साफ व्यू खोले तो मुसलमान कहने लगे वल्लाह हम किसी ग़ज़वे या सरिये में भी रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की मैयत न छोड़ेंगे. So in the ग़ज़वे Tabuk, which was a very difficult expedition and jihad, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam went out and the Muslims also went out, but the munafiqeen, they made excuses and they did not go out. So Allah Ta'ala mentioned them in a very severe way in Quran Sharif. يَعْتَدِرُونَ إِلَيْكُمْ إِذَا رَجَعْتُمْ إِلَيْهِمْ قُلْ لَا تَعْتَدِرُوا لَن نُؤْمِنَ لَكُمْ إِنَّهُمْ رِجْسٌ وَمَأْوَاهُمْ جَهَنَّمُ. So Allah Ta'ala mentioned the munafiqeen in a very severe way in the Quran Sharif. So because of that, after that, whenever Rasulullah sallallahu would go out, all the Muslims, they would go with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they said, we will never stay behind Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. आखिर जब रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ग़ज़वे से फारिग होकर मदीना से तशरीफ़ लाए और कुफ़ार की जानिब लश्कर रवाना किए तो सारे मुसलमान जिहाद के लिए निकल खड़े हुए. So after ग़ज़वा Tabuk, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam returned back to Medina Sharif and he prepared an army to go out to fight against the non-believers. So Rasulullah sallallahu on that occasion stayed in Medina Sharif, but all the people, they went out in the jihad. So at that occasion, Allah Ta'ala revealed this verse saying that all people should not go out, some people should stay with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. और हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम को मदीना में तन्हा छोड़ दिया. So because of that Allah Ta'ala reprimanded those munafiqeen who did not go out in Ghazwa Tabuk. So after that the Ghazwa occurred, Rasulullah stayed in Medina Sharif, but all the Sahaba, all the Muslims, they went out and Rasulullah was alone in Medina Sharif. So Allah Ta'ala commanded the Muslims that that is not the right way. बस ये आयत नाजिल हुई जिसका मतलब ये हुआ कि मुसलमानों के लिए जायज़ नहीं कि सब के सब ग़ज़वे और जिहाद की तरफ निकल खड़े हो. So after this event, this verse was revealed that it should not happen that Rasulullah sallallahu Medina Sharif and all the Muslims, they go out in jihad and leave Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam alone. बल्कि वाजिब है कि दो जमातें हो जाए. Instead, on such occasion that when Rasulullah is staying in Medina Sharif, then they should make two groups. One group goes out for jihad and one group stays with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Medina Sharif. कि एक जमात तो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु की खिदमत में रहे और दूसरी जमात ग़ज़वे में जाए. One group they stay with Rasulullah sallallahu in Medina Sharif and the other group they go out for jihad. और उसकी वजह ये है कि उस वक्त में इस्लाम को ग़ज़वा और जिहाद और कुफ़ार को ज़ेर करने की भी ज़रूरत थी. The reason being at that time there were two necessities. One is to remove the troubles of the non-believers. So there was a need for jihad, and also the revelation and wahi which was coming down upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Some people should stay with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and acquire the knowledge from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. और अहकाम शरिया भी नए नए नाजिल होते थे. So on one side there was a need for jihad, and on the other side the wahi was being revealed upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So people need to know the ahkam and the knowledge and the masail. इसलिए मुसलमानों को ज़रूरत थी कि कोई बारगाह रिसालत में भी मुकीम रहे ताकि उन अहकामात को सीखे और याद रखे और जो मुजाहिदीन गैर हाजिर हैं उनको पहुँचाए. So on the other side there was a need to acquire knowledge. The wahi which was coming down upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and new commands of Shariat were coming down, so there should be a people who learn it themselves, and then when the people had gone out in jihad, the mujahideen, when they return back, they can teach them. So from here we can realize the importance of knowledge, that Allah Ta'ala said all people should not go out in jihad. Some people should stay with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, acquire knowledge. So outwardly those who are going out of jihad, they seem to be doing a greater work. And those who are staying in Medina Sharif seem not doing such a great work. But Allah Ta'ala commanded that all people should not go out. Some people should stay with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, acquire knowledge, and then impart that knowledge to other people. So that people learn the commands of Deen and they themselves practice upon it, and what Allah Ta'ala forbids, they learn it and they stay away from it, and then teach the people who have gone out also. इस बिना पर ये आयत मिन जुमला बकिया अहकाम जिहाद के होगी. So meaning jihad is a very important act in Deen, but acquiring knowledge is also important. So there should be a group of people who engage in acquiring knowledge so that the knowledge can be spread to other people. कि उसको मुस्तकिल कलाम कहा जाए जिसका माक़बल से कोई ताल्लुक़ नहीं, और इससे मकसूद सिर्फ तरगीब देनी है कि जो कुछ हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की ज़बान मुबारक से आयत व हदीस निकलें उनको सीखना चाहिए. So the purpose of this verse is some people should stay with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and become alim, ulama, and teach those people who have not directly heard from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, so the knowledge spreads and people can practice according to that knowledge. फजीलत और शराफत जिससे इंसान को तमाम जानवरों से इम्तियाज़ है, जैसा कि अल्लाह ताला फरमाते हैं कि हमने बनी आदम को इज़्ज़त बख्शी. How Allah has created many creatures, and amongst them Allah has blessed the human being the highest status. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَاهُمْ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ وَرَزَقْنَاهُمْ مِنَ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. So what made human being of higher status than any other creatures? नीज़ इरशाद है कि हमने इंसान को फजीलत दी अपनी पैदा करदा बहुत मखलूक के ऊपर, वो क़ुव्वत बदनी की वजह से नहीं है. So what is the reason for the honor given to human being, the higher status given to human being? So it's not body strength, because in body strength other creatures are more stronger than human being. Ox, elephant, horse, if you look at these animals, they're more stronger than human beings. But even then, the insan, he has higher status over all these human beings. He uses the horse, he uses the ox, and many other creatures. So a human is not giving the high status because of his bodily strength, because other creatures are more stronger than us human beings. कि ऊंट इंसान से ज़्यादा कवी है. Example, camel is more stronger than human being. How much weight it lifts and he walks, we can't carry so much weight. और न फजीलत बदन के बड़े होने से है कि हाथी इंसान से बहुत बड़ा है. So our status is not because we have a bigger body than other animal, other creatures. If you look at elephant, it is more in body than us human being. और न बहादुरी से है कि दरिंदे इंसान से ज़्यादा बहादुर है, and not because of bravery, because animals, they are more braver than human beings. Lion, tiger. So that is also not the reason for human being of higher status over the creatures. और न खाने से है कि बैल इंसान से बड़ा पेट वाला है, and not because of he eats more, because there are animals who eat more than human beings. We can see ox, buffalo, they eat, we see in the fields, morning till evening, whole day, they keep eating, they keep grazing. So our status over other animals is not because we eat more than other animals, they eat more than us. हाँ, ilm की वजह से है. The fazilat given to us, the honor and status given to us is because of the sifat of knowledge. This is something which we have been blessed with, and other creatures, they are not blessed. Even angels, they confess themselves. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma allamtana. So even the angels, who are the direct, whom Allah Ta'ala commanded, they carry out the commands of Allah Ta'ala. So even they confessed and they agreed that you have blessed Adam alayhi salam knowledge which you have not blessed to us. So our respect and honor and our high status is due to the sifat of knowledge. So the more knowledge a person has, the more respected he is. And if he is empty from knowledge, then he degrades himself to the state of animal. ثُمَّ لَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ وَلَقَدْ ذَرَأْنَا لِجَهَنَّمَ كَثِيرًا مِنَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ أُولَٰئِكَ كَالْأَنْعَامِ بَلْ هُمْ أَضَلُّ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْغَافِلُونَ. So if a person does not have right knowledge, just because of the human face, he is not worthy of respect. Human become worthy of respect because of the quality of knowledge. The more knowledge a person has, the more valuable he is. It's like a cup. So the cup in itself is not much of value, but what we put in it will make it valuable. If we fill it with milk, then it will become valuable. We'll put it in a room, we'll put it on a table, and we will respect it. The very same cup, somebody fills with urine, then it won't be kept in the room. Straight will be thrown away. Whole cup will be thrown away. So this is our example also. That a person has acquired knowledge and he has put knowledge in his heart, then that knowledge will make him valuable. And instead, if he has kept himself ignorant, jahil, and it's like a cup filled with urine, it loses its value. So our value over other creatures is because of the quality of knowledge and then practicing upon that knowledge. Otherwise, in size, we are not very big. And in everything, other creatures, if you look, they are more than us. But this is a quality which Allah has blessed to us human beings, which has not been blessed to other creatures. The creatures, they have knowledge regarding eating, but regarding the commands of Allah Ta'ala and following those commands, that is a knowledge only given to human being. So because of that is our respect and honor and higher status. और इसीलिए अल्लाह ताला ने एहसान जतलाने के मौके पर यूँ इरशाद फरमाया है अल्लमल इंसान मालम यअलम, to show human status and that Allah Ta'ala is informing us of His special ni'mat upon us. Allah Ta'ala says कि ilm diya insan ko jo usko hasil na tha. Allah Ta'ala told us that which we did not know. A person comes out of the mother's womb empty. Then he acquires knowledge of Quran Sharif, he becomes Hafiz of Quran Sharif, he becomes Alim of Quran Sharif. So it's just like empty cup and being filled with milk. So exactly in a way we come out of our mother's womb empty-hearted. But then we learn to read Quran Sharif looking inside. Then we become Hafiz of Quran. Then we acquire knowledge of Quran. So this is enhancing ourselves and increasing our status and honor through knowledge. Just like empty cup, when it's filled with milk, it is honored, it is respected, it is put in a higher place. बस जिसका इल्म ज़्यादा होगा उसका दर्जा अल्लाह के नज़दीक बुलंद होगा. The person who has more knowledge of Deen, the status by Allah Ta'ala will be greater to that extent. وَعَلَّمَكَ مَا لَمْ تَكُنْ تَعْلَمْ وَكَانَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكَ عَظِيمًا. Regarding Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, be blessed with knowledge which you did not know, and Allah's fazl is great upon you. So if you look at worldly life of Rasulullah, so eating, drinking, clothes, house, they were very, very minimum. But the matter which Allah gave Rasulullah in abundance was the knowledge of Deen. أُوتِيتُ عِلْمَ الْأَوَّلِينَ وَالْآخَرِينَ. So the respect and honor of a person in the sight of Allah Ta'ala is by knowledge. The more a person acquires knowledge, the more his status by Allah Ta'ala. चुनांचे अल्लाह ताला फरमाते हैं कि अल्लाह ताला दर्जे बुलंद करता है उनके जो तुम्हें ईमान लाए और उनके जिनको इल्म दिया गया. Allah Ta'ala says there are two groups of people, Muslims and non-Muslims. So non-Muslim, he has no status, no respect in sight of Allah Ta'ala. And the other group is the believers because of Iman, he is respected and honored by Allah Ta'ala. And then amongst the mu'mineen, believers, those who become alim of Quran, alim of Hadith, alim of Masail, their status is even higher from those mu'mineen who have not acquired knowledge of Deen. So the scale by Allah Ta'ala for status is through knowledge. More person has knowledge of Deen, the greater his status by Allah Ta'ala. And knowledge means which is connected with practice. That he practices according to that knowledge, his status is higher according to that. देख लो चूँकि आदम अलैहिस्सलाम इल्म व अक़ल में फ़रिश्तों से ज़्यादा थे, लिहाजा उनकी ताज़ीम के लिए फ़रिश्तों को सिजदा करने का हुक्म हुआ. So this is a very obvious example that Adam अलैहिस्सलाम, he was created out of clay. خَلَقْنَاكُم مِّن طِينٍ. And angels, they are created out of nur. So look at the physical creation. The creation of angel is more honorable than our creation. We are created out of clay and soil. But even then, Adam alayhi was status became higher because of Allah blessed in knowledge. So the angels were created by nur. Allah commanded them to make sajda to Adam alayhi and not vice versa. Allah did not command Adam alayhi to make sajda to angels. Instead, Allah commanded the angels to make sajda to Adam alayhi because of the sifat of knowledge. And they confessed themselves that we don't know except what you have taught us. What Allah gave ability to Adam alayhi, that ability was not given to the angels of acquiring that amount of knowledge. याद करो जब हमने कहा फरिश्तों से कि सजदा करो आदम को, वकुलना या आदम स्कुन अंत वल जन्नत वइद कुलना लिल मलाइकति इसजुदू लि आदम फसजदू इल्ला इब्लीस. When we commanded the angels to make sajda to Adam alayhi salam, they all prostrated, they all made sajda to Adam alayhi salam except for Iblis, Shaitan. कि याद करो जब हमने कहा फरिश्तों से कि सजदा करो आदम को, पर सबने सजदा किया सिवाय इब्लीस के कि उसने इनकार किया. So all the angels straight away they made sajda to Adam alayhi salam. Iblis, Shaitan, he was also amongst them, but he refused and he became arrogant. Or Musa alayhi salam, so meaning the status Allah gave to Adam alayhi salam over the angels, it was not because of his physical body, because the body of Adam alayhi salam is made out of clay, and the body of the angels is made out of nur. So, but even then, the status given to Adam alayhi salam was because of the quality of knowledge which Allah Ta'ala had blessed him, which was not given to the angels. और मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने सिवाय हुक्म खुदावंदी बावजूद नबी होने के मजमउल बहरैन की तरफ सफ़र किया ताकि खिज़र अलैहिस्सलाम को जो इल्म लदुन्नी अता हुआ है उसको सीखें. The story of Musa अलैहिस्सलाम, he was a prophet of Allah Ta'ala. He used to speak directly with Allah Ta'ala. Even then, when he came to learn that there is a one person who knows those matters which he does not know. So straight away, Hazrat Musa became eager and he asked Allah Ta'ala, Ya Allah, I want to see that person, I want to meet that person, where can I meet him? So Allah Ta'ala showed him that go to certain place, you will find him there. So Allah Ta'ala also did not stop him. Why? What need do you have? I speak with you, you speak with me, I reveal my wahi to you. Is that not sufficient? Instead, when he asked Allah Ta'ala that I want to meet that person who knows what I do not know, Allah Ta'ala also gave Musa alayhi salam permission. So it shows the value of knowledge in sight of Allah Ta'ala. Even a prophet who is the most knowledgeable person in his time, that when he asked to make a journey to acquire knowledge, Allah Ta'ala gives him permission. So that shows the value of knowledge in sight of Allah Ta'ala. Sahihain mein हज़रत सईद बिन जुबैर रहमतुल्लाह अलैहि से रिवायत है कि मैंने इब्न अब्बास रज़ी अल्लाह ताला अन्हुमा से पूछा कि नौफल बक्काली का गुमान है कि खिज़र वाले मूसा वो नबी हैं जो बनी इस्राइल के मूसा हैं. So regarding that, Hazrat Sa'id bin Jubair rahmatullah was a student of Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala. He asked him that one person called Nawfal Bakkali, he thinks that the Musa which is mentioned in Quran Sharif is not Musa alayhi salam. Wa id qala Musa li fatahu la abrahu. So name Musa is there in Quran Sharif, but Nawfal Bakkali used to say that he is not the Musa who was a prophet in Bani Israel, he's some other Musa. So Sayyid bin Jubair asked Ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, have you heard about this from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the Musa which is mentioned in Quran Sharif is the Musa prophet of Bani Israel or is some other Musa? Ibn Abbas radiallahu फरमाया कि उन्होंने झूठ कहा, because he had heard that the Musa which is mentioned in Quran Sharif is Musa alayhi salam, the prophet of Bani Israel, and Nawfal Bakali, he was a Muslim, but regarding that he used to say that he is not the Musa who was a prophet messenger in Bani Israel. So that Ibn Abbas ने say कि हमसे उबय बिन काब ने हदीस बयान की कि मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम वाज कहने के लिए बनी इसराइल में खड़े हुए तो किसी ने पूछा कि कौन शख्स सबसे ज़्यादा आलिम है. So Hazrat Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu said that Ubay bin Ka'b radiallahu anhu was an elderly Sahabi. In relatively, Hazrat Ibn Abbas was young, so he did not have much chance to learn directly from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He acquired most of his knowledge from Sahaba. So regarding this incident also, he said, I have heard Ubay bin Ka'b radiallahu ta'ala anhu that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that one day Musa alayhi salam stood up to deliver a bayan in Bani Israel. So while he was making a bayan, when he completed his bayan, somebody asked him, who's the most knowledgeable person? So, कि कौन सा सबसे ज़्यादा आलिम है? Somebody asked Musa alayhi salam, who is the most knowledgeable person at this time? Musa alayhi salam ने फरमाया कि मैं हूँ. So Musa replied that I am the most knowledgeable person. बस अल्लाह ताला का आप पर इताब हुआ इसलिए कि इल्म को हक़ ताला के हवाले नहीं किया. यूँ कहते खुदा ही को मालूम है कि कौन ज़्यादा आलिम है. So Allah Ta'ala to teach Musa alayhi salam and make his tarbiyat, Allah Ta'ala revealed that there is one person who knows what you do not know. So when somebody asks such a question, who's the most knowledgeable person, one should not give anyone's name, that alim, because it is that one alim knows something, he doesn't know the other thing. Other alim knows something, he doesn't know the other thing. So regarding oneself or regarding any alim, one should not say he is the most knowledgeable alim in the world, he is the most knowledgeable alim in the city, in the country. And somebody asks such a question, he should say, Allahu Alam. Allah Ta'ala knows who is the most knowledgeable person. So nevertheless, when Musa alayhi salam said, I'm the most knowledgeable person, to teach him a lesson, Allah Ta'ala said to him, there is one person who has more knowledge than you, meaning he knows those things which you do not know. लिहाजा हक़ ताला ने उन पर वही की कि मेरा एक बंदा है मजमुअल बहरैन, दो समंदरों के मिलने की जगह पर, कि वो तुमसे ज़्यादा आलिम है. So Allah Ta'ala sent wahi upon Hazrat Musa alayhi salam that there is one servant of mine and he stays where two oceans meet, sweet water and a soury water. So he stays there and he has more knowledge than you. He knows those things which you do not know. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने पूछा कि या अल्लाह उनसे मुलाकात की सूरत क्या है? So look, when Musa अलैहिस्सलाम came to learn somebody who knows more than me, he didn't become embarrassed and he didn't take it badly. Instead he became interested and said, Allah, I want to meet him. Where can I meet him and acquire his knowledge from him? Allah Ta'ala ने फरमाया कि अपने साथ एक मछली ले लो. So in the olden times there were no signboards that you can follow the signboards out from Blackburn, Preston, and then Manchester, Birmingham, London. So in those days there were no such a written signs. There were natural matters through which people used to recognize their route. So Allah Ta'ala said, take one cooked fish with you. और उसको एक बर्तन में रख लो. Zambil, so take a cooked fish and put it in a zambil, put it in a basket, and keep your sight on the fish. Wherever it becomes alive and jumps into the sea, you will find that person there. उसको एक बर्तन में रख लो बस जिस जगह मछली गुम हो जावे वो बंदा वही आपको मिलेगा. So it was a dead fish, it was a cooked fish, but Allah Ta'ala's Qudrat, Mu'jiza, that those things occur which is not normal. So Allah Ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam, cook a fish and put it in a basket and keep your sight on that basket. Wherever that fish becomes alive and jumps into the sea, you wait there, either that person will be there or you wait there, he will come there. और उनके साथ उनके खादिम यूशा बिन नून रवाना हुए. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम took his khadim with him, that Yusha अलैहिस्सलाम who later on became prophet, and Musa अलैहिस्सलाम passed away. हत्ता के जब पत्थर पर पहुँचे और उस पर अपना सर रखकर दोनों सो गए. So they started to travel on foot and they were traveling and they became tired, so they stopped at one place. There was a boulder and a support of the boulder, both of them went to sleep. That Yusuf alayhi salam, he was awake. कि मछली बर्तन के अंदर तड़पी और उससे बाहर निकलकर समंदर में जा पड़ी. So they were resting on the edge of the sea. So at that place the fish became alive, started to make movement, and it jumped into the sea from the basket. And Yusuf alayhi salam, he was still awake at that time. He saw this, but he didn't inform Musa alayhi salam, thinking when Musa will wake up, I will inform him that this incident has occurred. The fish, it became alive and it jumped into the sea. और तय खाना की तरह समंदर में रास्ता बना लिया. And when it went into the sea, the place where it went from, Allah made it like a tunnel, so that the sign stays for Musa alayhi salam to recognize that this is where the fish went into the sea. Meaning the water did not join up. It's just like a pipe. If you put a pipe in water, then the water will be separated. So in the same way, Allah Ta'ala make like a tunnel so that Musa alayhi salam can see where the fish had jumped into the sea. और अल्लाह ताला ने मछली के गुजरगाह का बहाव रोक दिया कि पानी उसके ऊपर ताक की तरह हो गया. So Allah Ta'ala made like we put a pipe in the water and it will make the water pass underneath and on top, and that pipe will stay as it is. So in the same way Allah Ta'ala made that as a sign, so Musa alayhi salam will recognize where the fish had jumped into the sea. मूसा alayhi salam जब बेदार हुए तो उनके साथी को मछली की बात की तिला देनी याद न रही. So Musa alayhi salam woke up, the Sati says, has time not come to travel? So the Khadim said, yes. So usually when we are traveling, we are in a hurry. So something is left on the side, it's usually forgotten. So same happened. The Khadim started to pack up the luggage and he started to mention regarding the fish, that the fish became alive here and jumped into the sea. So he forgot to mention to Musa alayhi salam concerning the incident of the fish. And they kept walking further. सारे दिन और रात दोनों चलते रहे. So the place they had to go, was behind, and they kept walking forward and forward and forward, but the place was not forward, it was in fact behind. So they kept walking the day and night. यहाँ तक कि जब अगला दिन हुआ तो मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने अपने खादिम से कहा कि हमारा खाना लाओ, कि सफ़र से तो हमको बहुत थकान हो गया. So they kept walking the whole day and night. The next day came, Musa alayhi salam felt hunger, and then he said, why bring our food? I've experienced tiredness in this journey. So when Musa alayhi salam mentioned food, now the Khadim remembered the fish. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम जब तक उस जगह से आगे न बढ़ गए जिसका अल्लाह का हुक्म दिया था, उस वक्त तक उनको थकान न हुआ. So until they reached the place they were supposed to stop and meet Khidr alayhi salam, they did not have any fatigue, they did not feel any tiredness. But when they move further from that, now it's like we notice in Ramzan Sharif, we fast from morning till evening, we don't feel anything. Because the command of Allah Ta'ala, Allah's help is with there. But in normal day, we don't eat from morning till evening, then we feel the hunger, we feel the tiredness. So this is a difference. When Allah Ta'ala gives command of some act and we carry it out, Allah's help is there and that act becomes easy. But when it's not a command of Allah Ta'ala and we do it by ourselves, then it is not easy to cope with that. It's like an example of fasting, that we make sahri 5 o'clock to 4 o'clock in the morning and 8 o'clock evening time, we don't feel anything. But in normal day, if somebody wants to try, they can try. That they eat early in the morning, 4 o'clock, and they don't eat anything up till Maghrib time, but they're not fasting, they're just staying away from food and drink. So they will realize the hunger, they will realize the tiredness. So that is because what is a command of Allah Ta'ala, we fulfill it, Allah's help is there. And when it's not a command of Allah Ta'ala, and we stay like that without drinking, that special help is not there, and we feel the trouble of not eating and drinking. So same happened with Musa alayhi salam, that until he reached the place he was supposed to stop, he didn't feel any tiredness, anything, hunger. But when he moved further from there, then he felt tiredness and he felt the hunger also. It's a lesson for us, that what is the command of Allah Ta'ala, we put our trust in Allah Ta'ala, start to carry it out, inshallah. The same with students, becoming Hafiz, becoming Alim. So in itself is a very, very difficult task. But we put our trust in Allah Ta'ala, we make effort, inshallah Ta'ala, Allah will make the task easy. So when Musa alayhi salam said, "Atina ghadana laqad laqina fi safarina hada nasaba," Hamara Khan, Allah, bring our food. We experienced a tiredness in this journey. So Musa alayhi salam mentioned the food. Now the Khadim remembers the fish. तब उनके खादिम ने उनसे कहा कि अजी हजरत, हमने पत्थर पर आराम किया था, तो मैं मछली का किस्सा भूल गया. So there the Khadim said, when we rested near the stone, the incident of the Muslim, of the fish occurred there, but I forgot to mention to you, and we kept walking further and further. और उसको याद रखना मुझे शैतान ही ने बुला दिया. And वमा अंसानी इल्ला शैतान व नज़कुरा. Shaitan, he plays with us and he puts such a seal on our mind that we forget. And when we engage in ibadat, then many things happen, that we start to perform salat, and then, you left the gas cooker on. So now it becomes bechen. So this is what shaitan does, that before salat we don't remember. But as soon as you start to perform the salat, the shaitan reminds us, and it takes our concentration away from the salat. So this is what happened. The Khadim, the shaitan, he made tasarruf on the Khadim, and he forgot to mention the incident of the fish on that occasion, and because of that they had to walk further and acquire extra tiredness. उसने अजीब तरीके से समंदर में रास्ता बना लिया, and the fish, it made its way in a surprising way into the sea, meaning it became alive and it jumped into the sea, and wherever it went, it made like a tunnel, so that it stays as a sign for Musa alayhi salam. बस मछली के लिए सुरंग बन गई. So for the fish, it became like a tunnel. Wherever it passed, it became a tunnel, the water stopped there. और उसको याद और मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम के खादिम के लिए ताज्जुब. So Musa अलैहिस्सलाम became surprised, the Khadim also became surprised that a dead fish, cooked fish, becomes alive and goes into the sea. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा, वही तो जगह है जिसको हम तलाश कर रहे थे. Musa said, that is the place which we are searching, meaning that's where we were supposed to stop and wait for that person. But we kept moving forward, we have to go back. बस दोनों अपने निशाने कदम तलाश करते हुए वापस हुए. It was a desert, it was like a beach, and there were no people moving around there. There was no locality, no population there. So they're walking, the footsteps were in the sand. So looking at the footsteps backwards, they followed their footsteps and they reached where they had started off from, near the two oceans where they meet. तो जब वहाँ पहुँचे तो देखते क्या है कि एक शख्स सफ़ेद कपड़े से लेटे हुए हैं. So when they reached there, they found one person who's lying on the ground on the beach, covering himself with a sheet of cloth. Musa alayhi salam ने उनको सलाम किया. Musa alayhi salam made salam to him. Khizr alayhi salam ने कहा इस ज़मीन में सलाम कहाँ से आ गया? So the person became surprised because there were no population there, there were no people in that place. So when somebody made salam, he became surprised. How come this person managed to reach here? Nobody comes here. So he was living in such a wilderness. Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam, lonely and alone. Musa alayhi salam ने कहा कि मैं हूँ Musa. So really the person became surprised that how come somebody managed to reach here? Nobody knows this place. So Musa alayhi salam said, I am Musa. Khizr alayhi salam ने पूछा क्या बनी इसराइल वाले मूसा हो? So he had heard his name but they had not met each other. So he asked Musa of Bani Israel, who is a prophet in Bani Israel. इन्होंने कहा कि जी हाँ. Musa said yes. So you can see the eagerness, the interest of Musa alayhi salam being a prophet. When he learned that there is somebody who knows more than I know, who knows what I do not know, he became eager, interested, and made a pedal journey, walking journey to meet Hazrat Khizr alayhi salam. मैं तुम्हारे पास इसलिए आया हूँ कि जो पसंदीदा इल्म तुमको अता हुआ है उसमें से कुछ मुझको भी सिखा दो. And Musa made request that I have come to you, that the beneficial knowledge which Allah has given to you, teach me some of that knowledge to me also. So this is in the same way, we leave our homes, we leave our family, we come to madrasa to acquire knowledge of Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif. So in a way, so following the footsteps of Musa alayhi salam, that to acquire knowledge, he traveled, and we are also traveled from our homes. So we should make most of this opportunity. The home life is different, everything is more comfortable, food is better, the facilities is better, more freedom. But when we have left all these things to acquire knowledge of Deen, then we should not allow the time to be wasted, make most of that time and make the time valuable, and we fulfill the purpose for which we have come, to acquire knowledge of Quran Sharif, Hadith Sharif, and knowledge of Deen. खीज़र अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा आप मेरे साथ हरगिज़ नहीं रह सकोगे. You will not be able to stay with me because my duty is different, your duty is different. You will see such things which will surprise you and amaze you, and you will not like what you will see. So you will not be able to stay with me because his duty was different and Musa alayhi salam's duty was different. मैं इल्म खुदावंदी के ख़ास इल्म पर हूँ. Allah has blessed me one special knowledge which you have not been blessed with, and what you have been blessed with, I don't have that knowledge of that, what Allah has given to you. So your duty is different, my duty is different. So what you see from me, it will be against your knowledge, and you will not be able to bear it. जिसको अल्लाह ने मुझको तालीम की है तुम उससे वाकिफ़ नहीं, और तुम इल्म खुदाबंदी के दूसरे ख़ास इन पर हो जिसको अल्लाह ने तुम्हें तालीम फरमाया है, मैं उससे वाकिफ़ नहीं. So he said clearly, the knowledge which Allah has blessed to me, you don't know that knowledge, and the knowledge which Allah has given to you, I do not know that knowledge. So you have come to me for knowledge which you do not know. It will surprise you, amaze you, and you will not be able to bear it. So you will not be able to stay with me, but the things you will see from me. मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने वादा फरमाया, मूसा अलैहिस्सलाम ने कहा इंशाअल्लाह तुम मुझे साबिर पाओगे, सतजीदुनी इंशाअल्लाह, और सतजीदुनी इंशाअल्लाह साबिरा. So he made a promise that you will find me steadfast, I won't question you, I will keep quiet and just stay with you and learn what you do. और मैं किसी मामला मैं तुम्हारी मुखालिफत न करूँगा. Musa अलैहिस्सलाम made promise that I will not disobey you in any matter. So this is something, a student, he comes to madrasa, the rules regulation, he makes a promise, I will follow the rules regulation and I will not break the rules regulation. So nevertheless, alhamdulillah, in that sense, that we have also traveled from homes to madrasa. Musa al-Islam being a prophet and being a Sahib-e-Kitab, Tawrat, but when he came to learn someone who has more knowledge than me, he became interested, eager. He made a request to Allah, Allah gave him permission to go. So in a way, we have come to madrasa, Allah has chosen us for his knowledge of Quran and knowledge of Hadith. We should value this chance, we should make most of it, and we should acquire such a knowledge that we are sure about our knowledge, we practice according to our knowledge, and impart that knowledge to other people also. Allah give us tawfiq. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.